All right, my lovely friends, welcome back to another episode of Dephemerember. Today feels like the perfect day to slow down a little and make something simple but meaningful again. The Dephemerember prompt today is belly band and butterfly labels, and honestly, that combination already sounds again like a little story. Something about giving ourselves space to grow and trusting our own slow transformation. So, let's see what today's creative muse will bring us. Okay, let's have a look. I used my junk journal planner the entire time with my December signature to host the Dephemerember ephemeras. And I would like to do a belly band that fits to the journaling card on the right hand side. Something that fits the color scheme of my Dephemerember ephemera. And of course here I have more of the leftover brayer papers. And I think the second one here, the colors fit so nicely to my journaling card. So I decided to work with that one. What I also would like to use is this lace here. I got it from Jem at Jem's Creative Space. It was in her generous parcel. She is my lovely swap partner for Dephemerember. And I thought this is just ideal as a belly band. It's beautiful already the way it is, but of course I would like to decorate it a little further. And we have the prompt butterfly. And here I have some butterfly die cuts. I love them. Look at how beautiful they are. So I will use my brayer paper and my scissors and just press them through. What I often have to do, I go back and forth, sometimes a couple of times, to make sure that they really cut through. So let's have a look. If it works, it's always a little bit like I have butterflies in my stomach. It's a little bit exciting to see, did it work? And it looks nice, actually. It looks like it cut through perfectly. And the silhouette here definitely also goes into my stash, because I'm sure we can use it for a later project. I have this nifty little tool here that often helps to get the die cuts from the cuts, or like the what is the name for the paper? Is that the die cut or the die cutter? I don't know. And here it has like this needle like tool at the top, so you can poke it through the little holes here, and then carefully, like poking a little bit more, and then carefully peeling it off. Oh, so satisfying. And look at this. I find this stunning. It's so beautiful. Let's have a look at the next one. These sweet little symbols of change, butterflies. Of course, you know me by now. I'm thinking about not the dramatic changes, not the overnight brand new me changes we often think we should make, but slow, lived-in change, the kind that starts with something tiny, a shift in perspective, a softer way of speaking to yourself, a moment when you realize you're reacting differently than you used to. So, as I'm like trying to poke out the little rests here, maybe I do this off camera later. I don't need all four, can just take the next one. So I'm reminded that transformation never looks tidy while it's happening. It looks like scraps and glue and half-formed ideas, and it looks like, does this even work here? It looks like this in-between steak. And then look at it. It's transformed into this beautiful little butterfly. I think that's exactly where look at this. Scrap and Dice. This is the company I bought the dies from if you are interested, because they are actually beautiful. Okay, let's have a look at the last one. Do you know this? Like these little fiddly crafting things, like this poking, and everywhere you have the little snippets flying around. It's a little bit messy, but these lifting it off, lifting a die cut off, I find always exciting and satisfying. Look at this. They are really beautiful, and I like how the colors from the brayer paper show up here very gently, very subtle on the butterfly. Even you can see even little writing. So let's go back to my page and let's play around with the placement a little bit. So sometimes when I'm placing things on my page, I get these funny little feelings where the piece itself tells me where it wants to go. You might have heard me saying that before, but instead of analyzing it, I just follow the feeling. Change internally works like that too. We often don't get the explanation first. We just get this little tug, this little pull. The sense that something might belong here, or that this chapter is ready to move, or this part of us finally wants some airtime. So, if I go quiet for a second, it's because I'm listening both to the paper and to myself. It's lovely when those two rhythms meet. I decided I would like to add a little bit of gold accents to my butterflies, and I have these watercolors and they have this rich gold tone, and I thought it would be lovely to mark the middle, to mark the body in gold. And now that I'm doing it, I noticed that each of these die cuts, butterflies, they have a completely different body shape. I find this really sweet because I think at our different human body shapes, and I thought somehow, I don't know, butterflies have the same shape, but no, they obviously don't. The bottom one is a little roundish and the top left is long, and a little short body with the right one. Really sweet. And so I make little accents, little gold dots here, and maybe coloring in some of the spirals here, like dotting the little spirals, allowing it to just unfold this really quiet meditative space. I enjoy it. I think while they are drying, what I also would like to do, I would like to make a little fold out envelope today. For that, I'm using my paper cutter, and I cut it, I think it should be 2 inch. I will cut a 2-inch strip here on the side. Just putting it into place. Zack, zack. And then I start by pinching the middle, like finding the middle by just layering it on top of it and pinching it a little bit, and then I fold the corner down, and then on the other side the corner to the middle, and then just folding it over. That creates a little top of my envelope, and then 3 3/4 inch down, roughly, I would say. I'm cutting the little envelope piece and just folding it up like one and the other, like one and then up to make, that was a little bit too high. That doesn't matter, we can change that. Yep, and now I have a little envelope. Yes, nice. Let's see, back to my journal. Let's see, here we have the belly band, and I think I would like the envelope to go into the middle. I can even fasten it or close it or attach it with the same tiny little paper clip that I used on the right hand side for my junk journal journaling card. But first, like always, let's go around with Distress Oxide ink around the edges here. Always, I find it makes it look more finished and a little bit more vintagey. I really just enjoy doing this with all of my little pieces, I have to say. I always use vintage photo and love it. With my art glitter glue, I'm just gluing down here the little triangles on the top just to make the little top of my envelope. Just making sure that I close my art glitter glue because otherwise it always dries out in seconds. So now definitely I would like to have a little message for my future self from my current self. So let's see, these are the old from the previous Compartmental Making, the little labels or the little quotes that I stamped. And today I think you do you is exactly the message I would like to find as my future self, as a message from my current self. You do you. And going around again with my Distress Oxide ink. I love this. I love this when we use our journal to communicate between our past self and our future self. It's a space where we can journal and reflect on the things that have been. Give voice to our younger selves, or write even letters to our younger self. But we also can do the opposite. We can write letters to our future self or little hints for our future self. Because, of course, I know being me is the best thing I can do. And do I always remember? No, I don't. Sometimes I really forget. And so it's so lovely to have these little reminders in my journal so that when I flip through it and look through all the things I have crafted, enjoying all the little active things that I can open, where I can look behind or flip something up or down, and then I have this little message, because I don't know how it is with you, but I actually forget what is in these things. It's not that I can hold this in mind, so for me it actually is a surprise and a little reminder. Okay, finishing off here the Distress Oxide, going around the edges, and by now I think I can get my journal, because I think also the butterfly should be dry by now. Or maybe, let's see, maybe first I can attach the belly band. It's so easy because it's a traveler's notebook style junk journal, and so I can just remove the page and go to my sewing machine and just sew around. Of course, I need to make sure that I am not sewing the little fold out page on the left hand side. So here it is. Can you see I used a thread in the same color like my belly band and just went around the entire page while making sure that on here the flip out where my calendar is, I made sure that it still stays open. So I can flip it or put it back in later, but for now let's just keep the page and decorate it. I'm putting a little bit of cellophane of plastic foil underneath, so when I glue things down that they are not sticking to the back. Look, here they are, the little butterflies with the gold little dots. They really sparkle. Oh, I really like that. And it is butterfly labels. So in a way, I need some labels to go with that. And what I thought, I have this free December junk journal planner kit, and there are lots of tiny little labels. So I fussy cut around them, and so we'll use 3 of them as a base to glue down the butterflies and to glue down this little envelope. I can close it up with my paper clip. Okay, let's have a look how we want to place it. I think I will just use 2 of the butterflies and put them straight on top, like just hanging over a little bit and then gluing them on the belly band. I think I like how delicate it looks. It's like the delicateness. Is this a word? Delicateness? The lace is so delicate, and the butterflies are so delicate in their little patterns as die cuts. I think it's a beautiful thing. But what I also would like to do is, I think here the flap of my envelope leads a little bit more. And to make it fitting to the butterflies, I think I would like to color it with the gold watercolor too. Maybe just the border or the entire flap. Let me have a look. Border. Nah, I don't know. What do you think? Just the border or the entire flap? You know what? I will go all in. I color the entire flap here, so it's really, really, really sparkly and looks beautiful. Of course, then I need to put it down to dry again. Do you know that? Because for me, crafting, I have a rough plan. I really know like roughly what I would like to do, and then I collect all my little bits and pieces and my things around, and then I see where it goes. And I'm always astonished myself how it looks afterwards, because I never had a picture of what it might be afterwards. So my inner little children and my inner little parts, they are delighted. They can more or less watch me craft, and none of us has a clue where it goes. Very different from when you do paint by numbers here, or something like when you really follow a crafting pattern. It's the opposite of what I'm doing when I'm crafting. I really allow like the creative muse to give me a kiss if she wants to. But definitely I'm playing and I'm enjoying the process. And I think that's why I'm so into junk journaling, because it doesn't matter if I would knit a pair of socks and I would lose one of the loops. Of course I would be upset, because there would be a big hole in my sock. If I lose one of the loops here while I'm crafting, doesn't matter. I can glue something over, I can stitch over it. It becomes a feature of my junk journal. And this is so freeing for me. I'm eternally grateful for junk journaling when it comes to that. The second butterfly I would like to glue in the middle. And the art glitter glue with this really fine nozzle, this really fine tip, is ideal to glue down this really delicate die cuts, because I think with a glue stick or a thicker glue, I can imagine that it would be quite difficult not to damage the little butterfly, but when you have this very fine tip, it's ideal. And then just the back here of the label, and then I can press it down. But first I need to a little bit more glue and then move my plastic foil so that I'm not accidentally gluing everything shut to the bottom, which would not be the first time, as some of you might have seen doing me with other things. But this time it seems to work out nicely. Just pressing down the fold a little bit more here. It's a little bit, I have a little bit gold on my fingers, a little bit still comes off. Yeah. And again, just gently gluing it down. So, good. And now everything is coming together here. The band, the labels, the little hints of colors and textures. Nothing dramatic, nothing forced. Just gentle layers finding their place. This page reminds me that growth doesn't have to be like this loud thing. These are so delicate colors. They are quiet and slow and real. Like this is how my crafting looks like. If today's prompts lands anywhere in you, even in the smallest way, maybe let that be your butterfly moment. Give yourself a little message. Tiny beginning, a soft shift, a breath of growing room. You do you. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. The last thing for us to do, I forgot. I, off camera, put this little airmail sticker and I took it here from the little labels that we stamped in a previous video in our compartmental making. That's the beauty. When we have little bits and pieces, they go in our stash, like the butterflies here. I will clean that up, and then the two definitely go into my stash for a later project. I can slide it in again very easy. As I said, it's a traveler's notebook, and just putting everything in place. And let me clip down my journaling card here on the side. Taking a little bit the time. I would like to have a look how it all looks together. Clipping that in. And this one, or the three other cards from the previous prompt, they can go under the belly band. And so they are all together, and the little paper clip can go down here to match the other side and to hold the flap down. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Okay. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos. And I will see you tomorrow again. Bye for now.